teacher tells me that in order to read and understand the news, to make wise business decisions, to participate effectively in committees, and to succeed academically, we need to be able to distinguish between fact and opinion.
That's right. Reading is a vital skill. We know that. But often, when I'm reading something, I tend to accept what the author says without thinking too deeply about what is a fact and can be proven, and what is just an opinion. Sometimes it's difficult to tell. How can we identify between the two? Who can we trust?
The first thing to do is to find out something about the author. Why did they write the piece? What is their affiliation? I mean, do they belong to any organization? Do they have well-known views on the topic? I also like to check if the authors are experts in the area. Are they academics or researchers? And check what sources they use in the index or footnotes. Perhaps the authors are journalists or even ordinary members of the public. Once I have some information about the authors, I can already make some kind of early judgment about how authoritative the text will be.
Yes, but you'll often find that writers blend facts with opinion.
Okay, let's look at a short article. It's about AIDS. The title is AIDS Reappraisal. Straight away that tells us that there is some dispute about AIDS. There's been a lot of research about this disease, but in this text, we can expect some debate.
Yes, a reappraisal of original research.
I can see at the bottom of the page that this article was adapted from something on Wikipedia. What do you think?
I don't think it's very reliable. We don't know who the authors are. Anybody could have written this. I wouldn't refer to Wikipedia if it was writing an academical essay on the topic.
Neither would I. But if you read the article, a number of other sources are mentioned, with names and publication dates. We could use these as a basis for further research to find out who these people are and what exactly they've published. Then we could make an informed decision about whether or not what they've written is reliable. The references to name and dates are useful. So is that long direct quote. We know when it was published and who wrote it. We need to read the original source though, before we could accept it.
I agree. What do you think is the writer's purpose?
Well, it's not to entertain us, and it's not a very deep analysis of the topic. I think the purpose is to inform the reader that a debate exists about AIDS and perhaps to encourage further exploration of the different views.
Yes. The paragraph that starts, some people have claimed. Well, the author doesn't say who these people are. There are no references. I think that's a subjective opinion. It may be true, but we don't know from the article.
We need a reference here.
Do you think this article is a serious piece of academic writing?
No way. It could be an interesting lead into the topic, but I have to check the original sources before I use it for any academic writing. Oh, and it's also from Wikipedia.
What about the tone of the article? Is it serious, neutral, or informal?
I think it's neutral. Though it's about a serious subject, it's aimed at the general reader.
As we've seen, it's often difficult to separate facts from opinions. In fact, academic writers frequently express an opinion and then use facts and their interpretation to support the position they've taken. As a reader, you need to be able to recognize the writer's position or stance, the other positions being discussed if there are any, and the writer's conclusions. It's easy to identify facts if the authors, for example, have included the results of serious research, numerical data from the specific survey, the results of experiments, and historical background summaries, for example. But the distinction becomes less clear when this evidence is interpreted. Clearly, it's important for us to be aware of this. If we aren't, then when we write academic essays or deliver presentations, we can easily be criticized for just giving opinions, unsupported by facts.
It's easier to spot opinion from facts in newspapers. You expect a news article reporting some event to be objective, though editorials, and of course, the letters page is often very opinionated.
In business writing, we'd expect facts in financial or annual reports and performance data. But marketing strategies or proposals would be opinions, though based on factual data, of course.
Well, as I'm sure you've learned, there's a lot more to reading than meets the eye.